Hello and welcome back to Whispers from the Dark. I haven't posted anything in about a month. I've been sick. I've had well, I've been sick. My voice is come and gone. Even tonight it's come and gone, but it's back, so I thought I would go ahead and read one of the emails that was sent in to me. I received this last week or so, and I kept thinking, how can I make a video with pictures that would go along with the story, or should I just put it on the confessional booth? And I started thinking, yeah, for some reason it just didn't fit with that either, or it fit as much with that as anything else. So I'm just going to read it and put some campfire video in the background. And maybe you can hear what this lady has in her heart and imagine being her. She wants to remain anonymous, so I'm not going to mention her name. I don't want any way to make her feel uncomfortable or to out her. It's not about the person, it's about the story. But my heart goes out to her, and I send her a cosmic internet hug for what she's been through and for sharing her story. I feel like honored that she thought of all people she could share this with, it would be me. I mean, I know there's people out there that are trained counselors, grief counselors, other people that have gone through what she's gone through, and that she could remain anonymous still and share her story and situation with, but she chose me. So I'm kind of mind blown, but I'm also honored. Okay, enough of my rambling. My voice may give out halfway through the story, and if it does, I apologize. I'll just save the audio and add to it when I get to where I can talk again. Okay, email says, I found your page several months ago when I was looking up something, and after listening to a few of your stories, I thought perhaps you would maybe be the only one who would understand. I've sat down to write this email a time or two, but wound up deleting it and talking myself out of it. But here it is. I feel like I need to get this out. Off my mind, off my chest. I have a couple of girlfriends. One of them I work with, but I don't want them to think bad of me or question my sanity. Especially since she's tried a few times to get me to meet up with her for a movie or some other event. I just don't want her to think bad of me or start talking about this. A little background. I lost my husband of almost 27 years a couple of years ago. He wasn't ill for very long, just half a year, then he was gone. Close to a month after he passed, things had quietened down a bit. I had family and friends checking in and out, and finally that tapered off, and I started to be able to breathe a little, and I tried to find my new normal, as they say. There would be nights when I would almost be asleep, and I swear I would hear something in the kitchen or someone moving around in the living room, and I would say to myself, well, that's just in there. Then I'd realize that he wasn't alive anymore, and the tears would come flooding out. And then another sleepless night. This would occur 2 to 3 times a week for some weeks. Then there were weeks where nothing at all occurred, and I hoped and I prayed for him to visit, and nothing. Then I chalked it up to my imagination or possible wishful thinking. Then one early evening, my coworker called, trying to get me to meet her out and grab a bite to eat. And while we were on the phone, she said she heard a guy say something in the background. I laughed and assured her no one was home but me, and the TV was on mute. So I don't know who she thought she heard, but I was alone. It was about a year later when she told me. She later drove by my house that night to see if I was alone or if there was another car there, because she really thought she heard someone. I have 2 children that I don't feel safe telling this about this to, because who knows, they'd probably band together to have me locked away in a padded cell. So I turn to you. I'm not using my name, and I'm thankful you said we can remain anonymous. And I'm not saying what kind of work I do or where I live, so hopefully no one will be the wiser as to who I am. But this has started to make me feel guilty about staying home and refusing to go out when I'm not working. And I want some feedback. So I find myself muting the TV a lot, reading, putting together puzzles, painting, anything I can do quietly, just hoping that he will come back for a visit, and perhaps I'll hear him this time. At first, when I passed on invitations to get out of the house, I needed the alone time for privacy and grieving, and to enable me to adjust to being alone and losing my husband. Because I hadn't totally been alone in almost 30 years. But now I feel mixed emotions. I feel guilty for lying or keeping the truth from family and friends, and worried what they'd think if they knew. That was my husband walking in the kitchen in those early days. There's no doubt in my mind. But that's been a couple of years. And then she signs off, thanks for providing an avenue for me to share. Oh, bless her heart. I can't imagine. I know what it's like to be visited by someone that's passed. I know what it's like to be surprised at that. And I know what it's like to be in one room and hear someone moving around in the other room, and you know that that person or what you're hearing sounds just like someone that was here and alive previously. Thankfully, I've not lost a husband in that way. I've lost a parent, and I've lost my best friend. I know what that feels like. And I've been visited by my parent many times. And to my knowledge, my best friend hasn't visited. And I don't know why. But I'm hoping in time he finally can do it. Breaks through the barrier, or forgives himself or me, or whatever it be that keeps him from visiting. I hope he can. He most certainly knows he's always welcome. There's no question. But what I would say to you, this has brought tears to my eyes. It really has. Because I can only imagine. Because you feel like you can't tell your kids, can't tell your coworkers, because you don't know what they're going to say behind your back, or if they're going to try to get a hold of HR and get your emergency contact numbers and call your kids, and they're all going to conspire to put you away. I get it. Yeah, that's where I would go with that too. My mind would go there too. So I would feel the same way. But all I can say is, I check I work night security. I check my email several times a night when I have breaks. You obviously have my email off my channel. So if you ever need to talk, text me, tell me, to know it's you, really you, and not some scammer. Text me and tell me what name you put on that email that you wanted me to keep anonymous. And then I'll know it's you. And then I'll respond back with my phone number. If you send that to me in an email, I'll respond back with my phone number and we can communicate. But you're not alone. I get you. I understand. I can only imagine. And I'm honored that you chose me and my channel to get it off your chest. I only hope it helped. I hope it helped to get it off your chest. Don't know what more I can do for you. I'm not a counselor, and I don't play one on TV or YouTube. Although maybe I should. My thoughts and prayers are with you, as with anyone that's lost a spouse or a loved one. I get it. I know the pain. You're not alone. I hope you find peace. And thanks for sharing. Be safe.